What's up, boys? Tricks Ridiculous back with another video, and I just wanted to do a quick one here, giving my thoughts on the state of the game update. This did come out a couple of days ago, so if you're watching this video, you've probably seen it already, but I wanted to give it a couple of days just to sink in, and also for the devs to do their live stream, which they did do yesterday. So I'll be covering just kind of the important pieces of this state of the game, and then some of the key points from the dev stream. So let's get right into it. Now I'll start with the big thing here that you all already know is that the Kate Bishop DLC is being delayed at least out of October. So they haven't given an exact time yet, but unfortunately it will actually be coming sometime out of October. They did say during the dev stream they don't want it to interrupt people's Thanksgiving. So whatever that means to you, I'm guessing it'll probably be early to mid-November that we see Kate Bishop and get her story chain. So, my thoughts on this, obviously, it's disappointing for a game that's, really struggling with its content, really needs new content. And I've been saying, since day one, new characters are always going to be the biggest content infusion. Having entirely new characters with skill trees and gear and just new things to grind for, those are absolutely the things that will, bring more kind of dynamic elements into the game and really breathe life into the game. So, a little unfortunate we got to wait a little bit longer for Kate, but I do definitely appreciate, their transparency on this. But going forward with kind of the future of characters, obviously we do know for sure Kate will be next, followed by Clint, but they don't have an exact time for him. I'm guessing if Kate is going to be November, Clint will come in December. And then looking into 2021, they say our biggest Avengers Initiative edition yet, introducing a new hero, region, and narrative arc. So I think it's pretty clear that this is going to be Black Panther. The region is going to be Wakanda, and then of course the narrative arc being Black Panther's story chain culminating in a Wakanda raid. So that is really exciting news. I was, thinking that was going to be kind of the Christmas thing that they were going to do, or the end of year content, but it looks like we'll be waiting until hopefully it's just early 2021 that we'll be seeing that. So that's really good. Still exciting to see that, we are still getting, Black Panther as probably the third character. I know they don't directly say it, but I think it's pretty clear there. And then the other big piece of news here is obviously for kind of late game content, they talk about these Omega level threats. Now, these are basically their raids, right? So we know the first one is going to be the AIM Clone Lab, which, I'm not super big on the AIM Clone Lab, just because it did actually get spoiled, and not to spoil really too much of it in this video, but it's not great in terms of the actual content it's bringing. It's probably going to be a little bit of the same old that we've been seeing, with maybe a little bit of new stuff mixed in. So that unfortunately is not the greatest news, but at least they're kind of giving it its own classification as these type of Omega level threat type missions. So we know that anything we see classified as an Omega level threat will be a raid in this game's sense. And then the other piece that we did already know is that this will only be available on the weekends, and they've given us exact times here, from 10 a.m. Pacific on Friday to 10 a.m. Pacific on Monday. So a little longer than just the weekend. You're going to have all Friday night to do it, and then you can squeeze it out Monday morning. And the other thing too is that they say while it can be replayed, the first reward gives you a much better reward on your first completion. But that's actually good news as well, because we weren't sure. Something like the Mega Hive, which you can only do once a week, and you get those guaranteed 2 exotics, this is not going to be like that. You're going to be able to replay this clone lab, and then still have chances of exotics when they do come out, after that. So that's definitely still good news, in my opinion, especially, for someone like me. I definitely want to do some streams, play this with viewers, and, do a lot of different runs helping people through this content. So good news for me anyway, is that replaying it over and over again, there is an incentive to replay it. It's not like you play it once and then you're done for the week. So that's good news there. So that was really it for this state of the game update. Then they just kind of go into some of these other areas. Obviously, stability and performance. That's kind of an ongoing battle there, right? Multiplayer and matchmaking, making sure rewards are better. These are all things that will just be an endless fight. So nothing too sexy or exciting there. Some of the other little kind of fan feedback driven features, these are things that they didn't really think of themselves. They kind of just did with the fans' help. So the big ones would be a ping system. This is really great. Everyone wants this, so you can call out resources, health crates, things like that. And you can also actually command AI companions to hack or smash doors, which is cool, but in my opinion, at this point, they might as well just take those doors out of the game. But still really cool. Replaying the Avengers Reassemble campaign, that's cool. I'm probably not going to replay too much of it, but cool that they have the option now. And then the other big one for me is right here, the hero icon visibility. So you have an option anyway to adjust the display. So having that little icon over all of the different characters' heads, you can now actually toggle that on and off. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. I'll definitely want to have that on so I'll know where my teammates are at all times. But other than that, that's really everything here. They are giving away this little appreciation pack. If you saw the dev stream, or excuse me, the state of the game before I'm recording it today, they actually had different icons here. I thought that was a little funny. So they actually changed the icons of the credits. They were using old graphical images, and we are actually getting the Sarah Garza inspired nameplate. So that is seriously the best. But that'll be cool. Nice little token here. But that's really it for the state of the game. Otherwise, it's been, it's a good that they're doing it, right? I would like to see something like this if they do it on a monthly basis. That would be cool, because even if they don't have the most amazing, groundbreaking news to share, at least they're communicating. And I think, doing something like this goes really far with the community. I don't think you'll find too many people who read this, even though, most of the stuff or some of the bigger stuff in this update was not great information. The Kate DLC was bad news, the delay on the DLC. But I still think people reacted rather positively to it just because of how it was delivered. If they had just been silent and not said anything, and then suddenly it just doesn't come out and they have no explanation why, and they just say, soon TM, that would not have gone over well. Fans would have absolutely hated that, and it would not have been great. So just having that communication is really great. So even if they could do these more regularly, maybe even on a monthly basis, I think that would go far, and that would really show how committed they are to the game. So the only other thing I just wanted to go through, shout out to Reddit user Mandy Left for this just quick kind of recap of the dev stream. These are basically the key points that they kind of went through, in addition to some other information, but this is just some good stuff. So they say Kate was delayed to actually polish the game. I guess. I mean, I'm obviously not a coder or a developer. In my opinion, polish to the game, bug fixes, matchmaking fixes, all of that kind of non-sexy stuff, the stuff that isn't really flashy, but you have to kind of do. That stuff's always going to be like an ongoing battle for a game like this, So any type of sandbox changes, you'll know in other live service games like Destiny, they package those sandbox changes in with the rest of the scheduled content. So anytime there's like a big DLC coming out, they'll also throw on a bunch of changes that they plan to make. We plan on fixing this bug, we plan on fixing that bug. That's all coming with the big content drop, So I'm not super crazy about this, but that's their decision. It's their game. It sounds to me like Kate is probably already done, so the decision to delay Kate wasn't based on Kate herself being an unfinished character, so that's at least good news. Other than that, cloning labs will have different objective types, not what we've already kind of done in Mega Hives, so that's good. Like I said, there's been a little bit of spoiler to the cloning labs. People were able to already glitch into them and complete them. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but it's nice to not just get the same old, defeat 5 guys or capture the 3 objective points, things like that. Good to see that there'll be different, cooperative matchmaking objective types that we'll need to do. And then they made a comment that new content will be made using existing assets already in the game and some brand new stuff. So this is a big one, and I don't think a lot of people understand this because you can kind of get on their case quite a bit about not having new stuff, reusing assets, but you have to understand there's always going to be a little bit of that, and that's how they get content out quickly. And then the stuff that is brand new will actually take a little bit longer, right? So it's easy for them to do something like the Tachyon Rift missions. Those missions probably didn't take much time at all to develop, because they're just reusing existing mission types with new modifiers. So, for them to deliver new content like that is probably a pretty quick and dynamic thing. But then, like, entirely new regions, entirely new characters, entirely new game modes or objectives, those are things that are more of a development cycle, and then they have to actually be implemented in the game. So that's totally understanding that things are like that. Then they say that the lab is actually hard. The best players internally testing were having a hard time with it. I mean, we'll see about that. I mean, that sounds like a challenge. I'm sure the player base will have the lab beaten in literally 30 minutes before anything even comes. Kate will have multiple arrow types. That's cool. I kind of figured something like that. I imagine Hawkeye 2 will have a collection of shock arrows and other types of arrows, so that'll be cool. New villains coming, new skins coming, all good stuff. And then gear with 3 perks that have the 3rd perk missing. They are actually working. It's just a visual bug. So, I'm personally not scrapping any of mine. I figured they would just, eventually add the perk in, but I'd still keep in the piece of gear. But it's kind of interesting that they are actually working, but no one knows what they do. So I'd like to see if they even post what they do before they fix the visual bug. And then they just say that they'd like to do a dev stream every week if possible. That would be great. Same thing with the state of the game. Obviously the state of the game's a bit of a bigger, publication, so I wouldn't expect something like this on a weekly basis. But a dev stream would be cool, even if it's like an hour or so, just kind of a Q&A thing, just keeping in touch with the community and answering, minor questions like this. Just saying, yeah, we're looking into that, we're looking into this. That goes a long way. They're not going to implement every single idea that everyone in the chat's throwing at them, but at least saying like, hey, we understand that this is, topic A is something that everyone on Reddit's talking about, and topic B is something we're looking to tune, like just saying that sort of stuff on a weekly basis in these streams. That's really good. That's what I'd like to see. But anyway, that's all I've got. This was just kind of an off-the-cuff recap of the state of the game and the developer live stream. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe. We're almost at 500 subscribers, so do me a solid, do your boy a solid, hit that subscribe button for some more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.